Do you wish your double unders looked like this? But you actually look like this? We got you. This video's for you.
Hey y'all, if we haven't met you yet, my name is Kaylee Woodard. This is my husband, Nick Woodard, and we're competitive jump rope athletes. We've been doing it for a really long time, won some championships, had a great time, but now what we really love to do is make videos like this and travel all around the world, helping people just like you to jump rope better.
Oh yeah, in today's video, we're gonna be focusing on double unders, all right? So a lot of times when we go into a gym, it could be a CrossFit gym, be a recreation gym, and we see somebody struggling with double unders, the first thing that we look at is their rope and what they're actually using. A lot of times it looks something like this. It's a wire rope, the handles probably spin, which is cool, but it's very hard to control. So throughout this video, we're gonna kind of take you back to the basics. We're gonna get you into a beaded rope really quickly, have you learn the basics, and then we'll help you progress until you get to that wire rope.
So let's talk first about the why and the what of this beaded rope that we like to start with. So Nick has a beaded rope in his hand, and you can see it literally has little beads on it. And so the why is pretty straightforward. It's because it has weight to it. So this rope weighs a little bit more than what you would see in a typical wire rope. And we like that for beginners because it gives you some natural feedback. What I mean by that is that when you turn that rope, because it has weight, you can feel it, right? Your body can feel it in your hands and your arms and your wrists, and that teaches your body what to do with it, how to control it, when to slow it down between revolutions, and how to do that so that you're not having to think so hard about like, okay, control the rope, control the rope. Your body's gonna feel it and it's gonna start to do it naturally. So that's the why, but now let's get into what should you even do, how do you get started with a beaded rope. What we really recommend is to kind of make friends with your rope, right? And that's gonna hold true for beaded rope and for any rope that you use. But we like you to make friends with it. And so the first thing is not gonna be double unders. It's just gonna be to do regular single bounce or single unders, as some people call them. But that's when you jump up once, rope goes under your feet once. And doing this as part of your warm up is really good because, again, it teaches your body how to control and how to slow that rope down. Another thing that you can do, and also great part of your warm-up, is some basic footwork skills. So we'll give you a couple here. The first one's called a skier. So you're keeping your feet together, you're just jumping side to side, kind of like you're skiing down a mountain and keeping that rope going the entire time. Another one that's really good to do is called a side straddle. So this is just the bottom half of a jumping jack. You see Nick doing it back here, apart together. We also like to teach people something called a forward straddle. So this one, you're gonna do like a baby lunge, okay? So you can see he's splitting his feet, baby lunge, and then switch, other baby lunge, right? Back and forth. And then the last thing that we'll say is a speed step or a jog step. So this is one jump on the right foot, one jump on the left foot, and then you keep on alternating, but you just make sure turn that rope under every single foot as it hits the ground. So those 4 footwork skills plus your single bounce would be a great warm-up. Do each one for 30 seconds, rest for a second, and then repeat. You're gonna be super warm, and you're starting to really make friends with your beaded rope.
All right, so now that you've made friends with your rope and you've really gotten to know it, now it gets really fun and you can start doing some double unders, okay? So here are a few tips that we wanna give you to help you master it with the beaded rope before we keep going, okay? So the first one is jumping high, all right? So what do we mean by jumping high? A lot of people, when they start to do the double unders, they don't really jump high, they just kind of bring their knees up, okay? So when they're doing that, they're not really moving at all. When we're talking about jumping high, you need to make your head actually reach and move upwards, okay? Just like what Kayla's doing in the back, all right? So when you're going, imagine there's like a button on the top of like a roof or whatever, and every double under jump that you're doing, you have to jump that high in order to move, just like that, okay? The next thing is going to be actually flicking through the entire time. And we're talking about your wrist, okay? So when you were jumping earlier, doing some of your side straddles, those type of skills, you have to kind of flick through the entire time. When you start doing double unders, what tends to happen is people do the first one, but the second one doesn't actually go all the way through. It stops right in front of them. So it's very, very important after you jump high, you have to flick all the way through the second portion of that double under or of the revolution, okay? And then the last thing is once you land, you're gonna have to slow it down up top, okay? So what do we mean by that? You're gonna flick through the second revolution, it has to slow down from the back, it's gonna slow down up top, and then you can jump up again and then go. A lot of times people do not give themselves time to land. So sometimes that looks like this. Exactly, all right? So by the time they land, the rope's already coming around again, and we don't want that. So you gotta give yourself time to land. That's why you gotta slow it down. You jump up, and then you do your double unders one more time, okay? So here's one more thing that I recommend with this beaded rope so that you can kind of fill it out, okay? Do not go into consecutive double unders yet if you're not there. What I would recommend, do a double under, and then do like 3 or 4 jumps, and then another double under, and then 3 or 4 jumps. Yep, just like that. So you get used to going fast, slowing it down, going fast, then slowing it down. And then as you get better, you go from 5 jumps in between to 4 jumps in between, 3, then 2, and before you know it, you're doing consecutive double unders. All right. So those are some of the tips that we're going to give you with the beaded rope. We're going to keep progressing you through, and we're not going to go to a wire rope yet. We have another rope that we're going to show you in just a minute.
Okay. So the second rope in our lineup, if you will, is called a licorice rope. Nick has one right here. And it looks like this, so it's really like a plastic material. Some people call it a PVC rope. This is one of the most basic ropes you can get. You can get them for pretty cheap and pretty good quality, so that's a plus. But the real reason that we recommend using that as kind of a transition is because the weight of it is right in between the heavier weight of the beaded and the super light, almost non-existent weight of a wire rope. So again, it serves as that really good transition, and what will happen, which is pretty cool, your body just naturally adapts and adjusts to using that rope once you have a little bit of experience, and that'll help your body learn then to naturally adjust when you move to the wire rope eventually. So how to use this rope? Pretty much the same as with our beaded rope. You don't want to skip any steps, so you want to warm up with that single bounce, do some of those footwork skills, might even have some fun combining some of those footwork skills or coming up with your own. That's always fun. And then once you feel comfortable, once you feel like you've made friends with your licorice rope, go ahead and start getting into some of those double under drills. And again, we really recommend don't skip any steps. Don't just go straight into stringing them together. Go ahead with those drills where you do the 4 or 5 jumps in between, and then knock it down to 3, 2, 1 jump in between, and then finally, once you feel comfortable, go ahead and string those doubles together. Okay, so again, exactly what you would do with a beaded rope. Now we're just transitioning to the lighter licorice version. All right, coming up next, we're gonna move on to that wire rope and have some fun with that one.
All right, so the last rope we're gonna get into is the wire rope. All right, this one normally has a coated wire. The handles are gonna be a little bit different. Sometimes they'll spin on their own. It's really cool, all right? And so what we need to do is get familiar with this rope. We have to make friends with it, all right? So just like with the other ropes, start off by doing some of your basic bounces, all right? And then from there, you can start going into some of your skiers and your bells, whatever type of footwork you want to do as you are kind of warming up with this rope, starting to understand it. Then from there, you can go right into your double unders. Now, don't start off fast. Do a double under, give me 4 or 5 jumps, double under, 4 or 5 jumps. Keep that pattern, then you go to 3, then 2, and then 1, you can keep going. The cool thing about a wire rope, all right, is that once you get here, you can be very, very efficient with it. You're not having to use like your arm very much. It's really a true flick, and you're kind of relaxing a little bit and not having to use as much energy, all right? So once you master this rope, those are some of the benefits that you'll have with that, and you can go super fast as you saw back there, all right? So wire ropes are awesome, and we have a few more highlights to give you at the very end for all of our ropes.
Okay, we talked about 3 different ropes today. So we've got our beaded, we've got our licorice, and our wire. And so we're gonna leave you with 2 pieces of info before we get out of here.
Yep, so the first one is don't feel like you have to go to the wire rope, all right? If you start off with the beaded rope and you love it, use it. I know from my freestyle routines and just a workout in general, I always use a beaded rope. I love the weight of it, and it just sticks with me the entire time. If you get to the licorice rope and like that's your best friend, that's cool. Use that one. All right. That one. Yeah, and if you're a competitive jump rope athlete or just a competitive CrossFit athlete and you want to get super fast, be more efficient, wire rope is going to be your friend, all right? But figure out where you need to be and don't feel like you have to stick with this one the entire time, because you don't.
Yeah, it's not a rule. You can use whatever rope you like, right? And then the second thing that we want to leave you with is that jump rope is fun. I know a lot of people, and ourselves included, like everybody gets frustrated with learning new jump rope skills at some point. But we all also know that we don't learn the best when we're frustrated, right? So if you find yourself, you're doing doubles and you're just getting really frustrated, put the rope down and go grab water, or like take a big deep breath, or do something else that's really fun and that you're successful at, and then come back when you're ready to have fun. You'll learn better that way. Maybe even go back to your footwork skills and just have fun getting to know your rope more before you go back into those doubles. Okay?
For sure.
So have fun with jump rope.
Oh yeah, have fun with it. Last little tidbit, all right? If you look below, we have a few promo codes. We sell some of the beaded ropes, so we would love for you to buy one of ours. We can customize your ropes for you and give that to you.
All the colors.
All the colors, all right? So we got you there. If you're looking for like a licorice rope or one of the wire ropes, one of our good jump rope providers, buyjumpropes.net. They are amazing, so you can buy from them as well. We have a promo code for them, so it's all below. Look at those links, click on them if you're looking for a rope. And the last thing, this mat.
Oh yeah.
All right, if you're looking for an amazing mat,
it's great.
This is amazing. All right, it doesn't mess up your ropes at all. It's just enough to try to get like some double unders in there, maybe a quick
Protect
workout.
your joints just a little bit.
Yeah, and so once again, that's through buyjumpropes.net as well. So all that information is below. Please, please, please click on some of those links, kind of go through some of those stores, and we got you on promo codes.
Yep, so we'll see y'all soon. Happy jumping.